and across the Middle East. So this isn't just about headlines or hype. This is really a clear indicator of where the global wealth is moving and why Dubai's luxury property market continues to outpace every major city worldwide. So once again, guys, you aren't going to want to miss a moment of this. So make sure that you are set, you are in the zone, and you are ready to go by the time Brian gets on the line, because we're going to be covering some amazing things. I do see that we are live streaming right now. So hello to everyone who is on Facebook. Hello to everyone who's on X. Also, YouTube, we're so happy to have you as well, YouTubers. If you are wanting to join us live, come on in the Zoom room. You can just go to londonreal.tv/Zoom. That's londonreal.tv/Zoom. Go ahead and join us there if you are wanting to experience us live. All right. So this is definitely one of our regularly scheduled investment club calls, and we're definitely happy to have everybody here. And we've just got some amazing things, right? So just taking a look at a couple of the other things that we're going to be taking a look at during this call is the demand for ultra premium turnkey luxury in Dubai, and it's accelerating. And the prices are being reset even higher. So we're going to be walking through today what this record-breaking sale really tells us about Dubai's luxury market. We're going to be taking a look at why branded and transformed properties are attracting global buyers, how luxury transformation projects align with the macro shifts, and real case studies of numbers from recent audited deals. All right. And so we're going to be taking a look at, for sure, how you guys as investors have been able to participate from as little as $10,000 and how to access the private opportunities that are typically secured. All right. So we've got some amazing things on the horizon. So you definitely don't want to miss a moment. So once again, do whatever you got to do to get yourself settled in. If you got to throw the partner some snacks, throw the dog a bone, throw the kid an iPad so everybody in your environment is set up, that's always a good deal. Also, just taking a look at if you're at work for whatever reason, just go ahead and put some earbuds in and go take a break. No better time to take a break, right? So good stuff there. So let's just make sure by the time Brian is on the line, we are set, we are in the zone, and we are ready to go. Just a couple of rules just to make sure that the call runs smoothly. We want to make sure that number one, your camera is on. Number two, that you are in an upright position. So we're not cleaning, we're not walking the dog or getting an afternoon workout, right? So we want to be in a set position. And of course, making sure that you are in proper attire for this call. All right. We definitely want to look our best as investors, right? So for those of you, once again, who are on the live stream, we would love to have you here in the Zoom room with us. Just go ahead and go to londonreal.tv/Zoom, and we'll meet you inside the Zoom room. All right. We can't wait to see you. But if you do decide to stay on the social media handles where we are live streaming, please feel free to go ahead and leave your comments inside of the comment section. We would definitely love to see your thoughts on what you're thinking about the Dubai luxury real estate. All right. So good stuff that we have here. And once again, let's make sure that we have our cameras on. We've got the lovely Petia in the house. We've got Carla in the house as well. I saw Camille creep in. So good to see you, Camille. Awesome. Ramael, we have you. What's up, Anthony? Good to see you. Hopefully you're having an amazing time with the final call of the Crypto and DeFi Academy. Well, it looks like he is here and he is ready. So last opportunity to turn those cameras on, clear away any and all distractions, and I'd like to welcome our host, Mr. Brian Rose.
Okay, what's going on, everybody? Thumbs up if you can see me, you can hear me. What's up, Petia? We got Camille in the house. Of course, Trevor's here. We got Margaret here, just graduating from our Crypto and DeFi Academy. Same with Anthony Mustard. Same with Grayson here. Same with Ramel. And a few other new faces in here. Of course, Vicky Raffs has been with us for a long time. So great to see everybody here. This will be our last IC call of the year. Isn't that crazy? So first of all, sending happy holidays to everybody out there. I don't know what it's like in your city, but in London, it's getting dark here around 3:30, and it's been raining all day, and it makes you want to just hibernate like a bear. So I've been fighting all of those wills to do that, and just still keep pushing here the last little bit of what's going on. Look, we had a great number today with inflation, core inflation at 2.7%. We expected it as high as 3.1%. And the markets are up big on the back of it. NASDAQ was up almost 2%, S&P up 1.5%. It basically means asset prices are going to go higher next year because we expect lower rates and more money pumped into the system. Gold hit an all-time high of $4,400 an ounce. and Bitcoin popped back up to $90,000, although it's having a hard time staying above that these days. Basically, asset prices are going up next year. Now, that could mean luxury property in Dubai. That could mean gold. That could mean Bitcoin. That could mean Ethereum, and that could mean all the coins that we invest in here. But this is happening. And we know we have a new Fed chairman in May. Right now, it's basically between two guys that's on Polymarket. And we know that candidate is going to drop rates by at least 100 basis points in that first 2 or 3 months. So we know that asset prices are going to go up. We just kind of have to be patient right now. But crypto's in a weird place. It's just disconnected from the rest of the market. Even today, stocks are up. Stocks are up probably, 10 out of the last 14 days, but crypto won't play that game. I think there's some type of synthetic end of year selling. I think there's some whales that are doing some things and maybe converting into the ETFs. I don't know. I'm talking to all my crypto bros. They don't know what to do, but all they say is it's cheap here. And I think that too. So I think 26 is going to be a very bullish year. Pretty much every major crypto aficionado out there has said the 4-year cycle is over, and they no longer believe it's true, which makes sense because the halving just has so little to do with the market now. It doesn't really account for much supply at all. And so we could come into this whole new stage. Clarity Act is probably going to be passed in January, worst case February, which will be huge for the market. And we know a lot of our portfolio companies are waiting for that really so they can push ahead and drop tokens. So really bullish on next year. Honestly, I'm just bullish on assets. I want to own assets. You don't want to have your money in cash. You don't want to have your money in bonds and equities maybe, but I would rather own real assets that can't be replicated. And for me, it's crypto, gold if you're a gold bug, property if you want to play that, but a nice balanced portfolio. Folks, we're very close on Tapiro. We got 2 people trying to wire money, so we got 3 spots left on Tapiro. We've almost raised $1 million, so congratulations to everybody here. Really great work. It really is an incredible team effort, but we're really close. And so I think maybe for the last time ever, I'll remind everybody here, and especially our guests, what we're doing that. Dan Tapiro is an OG trader. He's been trading since the early 90s. And I knew a lot of the guys he used to trade with back in the day. And when I was really up and coming, Tapiro was trading with my trading desk at Bankers Trust at the time. And he's just known as a legend. He's made his investors a lot of money. And with his most recent fund that we put $1 million into back in 2022, I think we're going to get $8 million back by the end of next year. Like these are the kind of returns he's giving us. And he wasn't supposed to do that, right? Never in a million years would he have told us we would have made 8x on our money. He would have said, look, I'm going to do everything I can to make you 30%, 40%, 50%, but I'm going to keep it really low risk is what I'm going to do because he only invests in shares. He doesn't actually buy tokens. And so now we have another opportunity to get in on his next fund, another $1 million opportunity. It will be closed very, very soon. So I'm telling people, just don't miss this. It's the closest thing I've ever seen to a no-brainer. Here's a quick 2 minutes of Dan Tapiro. I can't explain how much of an incredible opportunity it is that we even get to invest in this. Back in the 90s, Dan Tapiro was working with some of the biggest funds in the world and sometimes breaking entire central banks. Dan was the OG.
We are still the largest growth equity fund in the world that's exclusively focused on crypto, blockchain, Web3 digital assets. We're going to make a 5 to 8x on the portfolio. Everyone knows who we are. We have a process. We do a lot of homework. We share it with our LPs, and we're careful about where we enter.
Strangely enough, we had the best performing of your funds, the one that we invested in the bear market.
You should all be patting yourself on the back for making that asset allocation decision. We have many sophisticated investors who hesitated and did not. The performance is almost up 300%. We are well far above the top decile of all private equity funds globally across all sectors and disciplines.
What do you think the next 18 months look like?
We're entering a period now that I'm calling the Americanization of crypto. I think we're going up to 180,000 on Bitcoin now in the next 12 months or so. As long as I can buy companies at reasonable valuations, it sort of doesn't matter to me about the bull and the bear phase. This is a generational macro opportunity.
There you go, folks. The one and only Dan Tapiro. That was pretty epic. He is the guy now in the space. What he's trying to do is minimize the downside, which he does incredibly, and maximize that upside. That's what we get when we invest with Dan. And now you all have this opportunity to get into 50TT if you're part of the investment club. All right, love Dan Tapiro. There we go, folks. I know a lot of you are already in that. So if anybody else wants to come in, definitely just think about joining the investment club. And if you already have 25 in, put in another 25. I would. I think Tigran put in 100 and a couple other people did as well. It makes sense. It's just a great investment. So there you go. Again, super bullish on next year. And I was here on Monday just to talk a little bit about another asset class that we're getting involved in. And again, it's a real world asset. This one is a lower risk and a lower yield compared to a Story Protocol. All right. Story Protocol gives us a 42x and it's a risky deal. Dan Tapiro gives us an 8x and it's a less risky deal. You know, the kind of things that we're talking about in property is max maybe going to give you a 2x. But again, the risk is much less and your principal is never guaranteed, but you own the actual property. So it's not going anywhere and you actually own an actual asset as opposed to something that might or might not be worth something. This is just about the risk profile. A lot of people had questions. I want to welcome Margaret here who just joined. She's a member of our DeFi Academy. And of course, Jose just joined this morning as well from this group here. So shout out to Jose. He's been in this group for a long time. And he's one of the guys that put in 50K in Story Protocol and that made him $2 million. And he wants to just put a chunk of his assets in real estate and in Dubai. And he loved this opportunity. So thank you to everybody who sent messages to Maria and asked us a bunch of questions. Tonight, I just wanted to quickly answer some of the questions that were asked and just make a couple of the points that might not have been obvious. I'll be in Dubai in 12 days. And my job for the next 4 months is to source the best crypto deals and to be on the scene to scope out some of these luxury property deals. And again, I think it's all part of a good balanced portfolio. I think you need some cash, maybe some equities, some crypto plays, and some real estate. I think that makes a nice balanced portfolio. I want to own assets at the end of the day. I do not want to own cash. I think that's the biggest mistake. Owning bonds is probably worse than owning cash. And owning certain stocks and ETFs that Wall Street controls is another thing you want to worry about a little bit. Like a mutual fund is a great way to lose all your money in fees, for example. So be careful of those bankers. I know some of those guys. And, you know, you got to be careful with all their fee structures. But if you can own a real asset, that's what this is really about. So look, I'm going to jump into this and kind of quickly go through some of the opportunities I'm seeing. If you have any questions, put them in the chat. And obviously you can ask me questions later as well. But I just want to also answer some of the questions that have been asked to me as well. So look, there was a huge news event that came out 2 days ago. Can everyone see this on the screen? I think everybody can. It was the most expensive piece of real estate I think that's ever been sold in the Middle East. Okay. It was 150 million US dollars. And it's the penthouse of a Bugatti building. Okay. This is a Dubai thing. It doesn't happen in any other city, but they literally take brand names and make a building out of the brand name. Now, Bugatti, as you know, doesn't make buildings. They make cars. But now you've got the Bugatti building. And by the way, there's a lot of different brand names that now have buildings. As a matter of fact, the Chelsea Football Club here in the UK has a building in Dubai, right? And it's just a lot of this going on here. And it's actually a gorgeous building. The penthouse is amazing. It's not built yet, but it was the highest price per square foot and dollar value of anything ever sold in the Middle East. And the reason this got my attention is because it really epitomizes what we're doing here and what the opportunity is and why I think this opportunity is only going to be available for 2 or 3 years, maybe a little bit more, especially if we can continue to source deals. And again, we're talking about 40 to 90% returns, which are very high, especially the fact that it's a very low risk asset because you ultimately own the underlying property. So that's what we're talking about. As usual, just want to say this presentation is for information purposes only, not intended to be an investment advice. And I've also got a quick video that you can watch at the end that's going to show you how to invest in luxury Dubai real estate in 3 easy steps. I'll give you that at the end. Folks, a little bit about me. Yeah, a lot of people forget sometimes I spent 15 years on Wall Street and I've been kind of going through memory lane recently, but I started in 93 at a company called Bankers Trust. It's funny, I've been reading this book that's out recently called 1929. It's about the crash of 1929. And my old bank, Bankers Trust, they were quite the players back then. So it's really weird to hear the name of my bank talked about when it comes to all the crazy stuff that was going on then. But look, I spent 15 years on Wall Street. I moved to Chicago, moved to London, and did some time in Tokyo. And I really got to understand financial markets and assets and asset prices. What I honestly learned more than anything else is that the way to make money is access. It's really not about what you know, it's who you know. And when I was on Wall Street, if you were a big player at one of our banks, we gave you all the hot deals. And if you weren't, you didn't see anything. And the same is what we do in the investment club, folks. You know it. We are privileged in this club. right? We get the best of the best. We get to pick and choose what we want. And it's because we have access because of our media platform. And so it's something that I've seen on Wall Street. We've obviously done that in crypto. And now I'm seeing the exact same thing happen in these property deals. And these are deals that you probably would have never even known existed. You wouldn't even ever know there was a sub-market called luxury transformation projects. I didn't until about 2 years ago. And yet this is how we get these outsized returns. No one's talking about it. And the people we do deals with, I have to sign strict NDAs because they don't want people to find out what they're doing because they know that they're going to jump in right now and take away that niche. So again, we're really trying to capitalize on it for the next few years and get some great returns that can compound over time. Now, for a lot of you crypto bros and crypto gals here, 50% on your money might not sound like a big deal if you're Petya, used to 40x. But, if you compound that over time with low risk, it's actually a great complement to the portfolio. So again, that 100 turns into 150, you reinvest, that 150 turns into 225, you reinvest, that 225 goes to 350, you reinvest, that can go up to 500-600 grand over a few years. Pretty soon you actually are tripling your money. And again, very low risk, and it's tangible assets, and you get those things paid back. And I'll share with you, the deals turn around sometimes in as quick as 11, 12, 13 months. And of course, the reason we're getting these deals is because of London Real, celebrating our 15th year, billion views, back on YouTube. Thank you very much. 5 million followers, and that's how we kind of get access. Folks, I've actually been really lucky to kind of have been mentored by pretty much the greatest in real estate when I really think about it. I mean, I've been really close to Grant Cardone for 7 or 8 years. When I met him, his portfolio wasn't even $1 billion of assets under management. Now it's 5 billion plus. He told me last time that all of his companies together are probably worth $3, $4, $5 billion of market value on top of that. He's got 10X Health. He's got all these education companies, sales training. And so I've been around really smart people in real estate. Also, Robert Kiyosaki, author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I mean, this guy was buying real estate, when I was still playing in my crib, when he was in Hawaii. And he is a great guy to talk about. Again, he loves real assets. He loves gold, silver, Bitcoin, and real estate. Okay, so great minds think alike. And Robert's giving me some great advice. Also, I'm really good friends with a guy named Jim Rickards. Jim is a legend, right? He really is a legend. Worked for the CIA. He does these war games, financial war games that he briefs, like the heads of the Navy on every single year. He wrote a book called Currency Wars. And he's also been great to have around and to constantly encourage me to own assets. And of course, you can't forget about the $1 trillion man, or apparently the $8.6 trillion man, as I found out in my last episode. We're dropping his trailer tomorrow and his full episode on Sunday. If you want to check in on Mr. Grumpy and see what he's up to, just turned 80 and he's doing pretty good. But of course, Dan taught me a lot about how to make a lot of money and again, how to acquire assets. And that's really what this is about. So why Dubai? Well, first of all, it's the #1 destination for global wealth migration. I mean, look at that Bugatti building. That's not going to happen probably in any other city in the world. Now, maybe in a Miami or a LA or in a London, New York, you might have an expensive apartment. Okay. But in Dubai, this is going to be happening probably every month. So we know that's happening. There's a severe shortage of what we call turnkey luxury supply. What does turnkey means? It means I can fly to Dubai with my family and walk into a gorgeous, gorgeous luxury villa and everything works. I don't have to get builders. I don't have to have dust. I don't have to make my family angry. It's got to be ready to go, turnkey. And that's what we're building. And look, the market is built for high performance returns. There's zero personal tax. I know a lot of people are like, what did you say, Brian? Zero personal tax, zero capital gains tax. So if you double your money on your house, you keep it all, okay? Rapid economic growth, and of course, cash-rich international buyers from everywhere. Everywhere. Now, what do I mean everywhere? Well, look at this chart, folks. On the right, you see the global millionaire migration, right? And you see at the very top of the list, 9.8 thousand millionaires moved to the UAE last year. And look at me on the very bottom in the United Kingdom, 16.5 thousand millionaires left this great country of Great Britain. I wonder why, right? Well, they're jacking up taxes. It's a great place to get your watch stolen or get stabbed. And it's getting dark and, there's a variety of other reasons. So it doesn't have the safety. It doesn't have the tax code. And it just doesn't have the forward thinking, also just optimism about growth. And they're all moving to the UAE and they all want expensive things. And this isn't going to stop, folks. As a matter of fact, I think it's going to get worse. I think more and more people are going to leave the UK. And the solution is to raise taxes here, and then more people leave on the back of that. So what's a luxury transformation? It's a targeted upgrade of a premium property. We go to a villa on the Palm that was built 15 years ago. That to normal people like us would be fine. But if you're an ultra wealthy person, you want the best of the best of the best, right? You want the best appliances in your kitchen. You want the best pool. You want everything perfect. The good news is you don't need to structurally change the house. You usually need just to give it a finish. And with cheap labor in Dubai, the margins here are crazy. And that's how we're making all of our money, right? Because the labor there, first of all, they work 24 hours a day there. Like that's just what they do. All right. People are happy to come there and work because where they're coming from, wherever it is, Sri Lanka, Pakistan, wherever it is, they can't even find a job to do that. So they love it. They make a lot more money than they could. It's an opportunity for them and everybody makes money. And it's built to unlock significant value. You got quick turnaround times. The current project we're looking at is like a 12 to 16 month turnaround time. We're funding it right now. And of course, high performance returns. Look, 40 to 90%. These are big numbers. And what I wanted to do is just play for you a quick video that might just give you a little bit more of a vibe for what it is. Sometimes I get caught up talking a lot about this stuff, and I don't think that maybe I need to show you also a little bit of what this is about. So this is a little bit more of a graphic look at what we're doing.
Dubai real estate is exploding, and the biggest money is being made where almost nobody is looking, in premium luxury transformation projects that have historically delivered 40 to 90% annual returns. That is incredible. For years, these opportunities were locked inside private networks. You never saw them. You never had access until now. I've spent 15 years on Wall Street and 5 years studying Dubai up close. And today, for the first time ever, you can invest directly alongside my team. We have just received a brand new project with real potential for outsized returns. And early allocations always fill fast. Click the link and apply now. Your opportunity starts today.
Boom. So I hope that gives you a little bit more of an idea of what's going on and some of the opportunities. Again, I've really gotten to know that market really well, just because I spent so much time there originally for crypto and now also looking at property. Folks, this is a case study of a deal that was recently done. It was an ultra luxury villa redevelopment right there on the Palm. If you look at those buildings in the on the top there, I stay at that building kind of in the upper right there called the Address Beach Resort. But this is what it was. They acquired the property for $7.1 million. They put $6.3 million in via renovation and permits. So they totally invested about $13.4 million. When they were done, 12 months later, they sold it for $25.9 million. That's a 93.8% return. It's that simple, all right? Now, you're not going to see this every single deal. This is on the high end, but this actually happened on one of the fronds on the Palm. And this is the model. Now, sometimes you're going to have 40 or 50%, and sometimes you'll have 80 or 90s, but that's the kind of range that we're shooting for. This is another, this is the article that came out, by the way, about this record penthouse. And you can see it, $3,172 per square foot is like a new record. And this thing's not even built yet. So we know the money's coming here. Also, you've seen the other big news stories. As far as home sales, around $10 million each. Those have surged by 54% in Q3. Massive demand. We now see that Dubai outshines London, Miami, and Phuket. And we know it does. It's really the place where luxury is. You're not going to find that in Phuket. You might find some of that in Miami, but you're not going to find the volume or the extent. It's just not what those places are about. And of course, why? Well, it's residency visas and it's high returns. That's why these luxury apartments and villas are feeling this boom. There's a lot of money for people to be made. And this is a simpler and a quicker way of making that money. And of course, this thing says that Dubai real estate passes $17.5 billion in November. And again, real estate transactions jumped 30.9% in November. That's strong demand across apartments and villas. No big surprise there. Folks, the latest deal that we're working on is a pretty hot one. I actually just opened it up into the investment portal. So Margaret, you can go in actually and just allocate your investment. Jose as well, if you're watching this later. And this is a brand new opportunity, projected 60 to 80% returns. It's actually in Emirates Hills, which is a kind of a golf course area, not on the beach, but also really nice, quieter, more green, etc. High demand location. It's filling up quickly. And they've done one of these before, so they've kind of got it specced out. And this is going to be another win. Look, folks, these kind of returns are really hard to believe. You know, if you invest in a hedge fund these days and it does well, you might be looking at a 25% annual return. I don't think this will last forever. And we have to keep this quiet, quite frankly. Like, we can't really talk about the specific deals because these will be scooped up. But right now we have the access, and I think we'll kind of own the sector of the market for the next couple of years. So how does London Real get access to these deals? Folks, we do it the same way we get access to everything that we invest in through London Real Ventures. It's all down to our media platform. 1 billion views, 5 million subscribers. We've been working on this for 15 years, and the reputation we've got with the investment club is extremely high. People know that we're big players, and they know that we honor our commitments. We produce these great pieces of video. We're here for the long run, and people just really want to do business with us. And that's a great, great thing for you, because you can get access to things that as an individual investor, not only couldn't you invest, but you wouldn't even know it was happening. And so we believe that success is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. The last 5 years, we've been preparing for this through the investment club. And honestly, the last 15 years, we've been preparing for this via the media and the media channel. Look, a lot of you have tried to invest in property on your own, and you've gotten frustrated. You know, you think, oh, I'm going to buy a house, and you end up fixing toilets on the weekends, or you try to buy something in a foreign country and you realize the laws are a mess, and you know it's just impossible to make money. There's a better way. You can do it through us in a way that's audited, that's structured, and completely transparent. And it's called the Luxury Property Investment Circle. This is very, very popular right now. We got lots of people joining, DA members, IC members, London Realers in general, who just never really could get their head around crypto, but they always wanted to invest with us. And this for them is something they're like, yeah, I understand real estate. I don't know Dubai, but Brian, I know you've been there, and I know you love that place and you're well connected. For a minimum $10,000 investment, this is a no-brainer. I want to try this and see what happens for the next 6 months or a year. If you're onto something, then I'll put more money in on following deals. And it's really one of the most powerful money-making opportunities I've ever seen. Again, because of the SPV structure, which I'll talk about shortly, minimum $10,000 investment, it's really impossible in property to invest that little amount of money and get any kind of transformation. We have an application process. Go to londonreal.tv/Dubai. You can apply. I'll read your application, and my team will here, and we'll make a decision. Obviously, if you're in the investment club or DA, you probably have a high chance because we know you. That's why Jose got in really fast, and Margaret as well, because we knew them. This is the form. It's simple, first and last name. We want a little bit of a band on how much you want to invest. That's actually a drop-down menu, and 10 or 20 words on why. We also chart your entire history on London Real. We can see every episode you've ever watched. We can see every course you've ever taken, and we can ask around to see what people say about you here internally. So we have a few background checks we can do. And then if we really think that you're the right person, then we bring you on. Look, folks, a lot of you know I ran to be mayor of London. This was my run in 24. I was on the pro freedom of speech and pro crypto plan. I ran in 21, and I love this city. But the truth is that I'm falling in love with Dubai. And I'm doing that because there's just so much opportunity. There's so much energy. There's so much possibility. And so I think it's time to actually start doing something about it. And I would really like to add another asset class kind of to our quiver in what we do here at London Real. And so that's why I set up a studio there a couple of years ago. This is London Real in Dubai. It's not Dubai Real. I wanted to keep the London Real part. And I get to interview everybody there. All sorts of amazing people like Dr. Marwan Al-Zaruni here, runs the AI Center and the Dubai Blockchain Center, gave me my golden visa for 10 years. So he's just been a great friend of mine. We also interview the big influencers. Funny enough, guys with luxury houses like Carl the Moon, he's got $1 billion in Bitcoin. He's got a pretty nice luxury house. And funny enough, Chris M. Crypto, he's got a big villa on the Palm. Of course he does, right? So these guys know this market quite well as well. And I mean, honestly, it's helped me do a lot of research over the years because I've been to some very nice houses in Dubai, let's just say that, with a lot of very nice cars, because that's just kind of the vibe there. Folks, right now we're investing over $3 million into 6 luxury refurbishment deals. We've got things planned out all the way to March. And so this is something that we can really get you involved in, and you can choose something that really suits you. And again, it's all down to London Real Ventures, the world's first media-powered investment firm. When you combine, capital and media together, it's super powerful. We've seen it in the investment club, and now we're seeing it in the property circle. And they want us involved because they know our media is going to make everything worth more, and everyone's going to make more money. And so you're going to make more money when your properties are advertised or promoted on our media channels. And so when they go to sell that villa, say we get an extra 10% on that thing, that's real money coming right back to you. And of course, you've seen our success. This is over 100 companies that we've invested in. Some of these are all already worth billions of dollars. We've had 40Xs, 30Xs, 20Xs, 10Xs, and I think 26 is going to be even better. Of course, you've seen some of these. Skillful AI was up 20x at the launch. Shrapnel was 20x in 20 days, a $5 million profit. Of course, Mochaverse 20x up on the launch. Obviously, Story Protocol is our big winner, up 42x. And of course, Dan Tapiero's fund up 4x. We'll probably finish out 8x, and we'll be investing in his next fund as well. We have a track record of success in high risk and medium risk, and now we're lower risk investments. So it really suits it fine. And of course, the way we win is we invest alongside big capital. And let's be honest, we're investing alongside big capital in Dubai as well. Okay, these are big projects, you know. They're raising $20 million to invest. We're a tiny part of that, just like we are in these deals, but we're investing with big smart money. And of course, we've now invested over 23 million, almost 24 million into over 100 deals inside the investment club. And so it's that track record that everybody sees. Folks, we're known well, really well known in this space because of the investment club. And I was voted the best venture capitalist of the year last year. Also, I was given the Lifetime Achievement Award at the Global Family Office Investment Summit for our media and our investments. And of course, we're now becoming kind of famous in Dubai for jumping in the ring for Crypto Fight Night. All this stuff helps to raise our profile and actually helps bring us deals. I know it sounds silly. And so, yeah, that's it. I didn't fight in December. There was a fight in Dubai. I decided to take a little break. But who knows? Maybe next year, May 1st, we'll be jumping in again. So how can we maximize our investment returns? This is important because a lot of you maybe have crypto, maybe you don't have anything else. Well, Ray Dalio once said that diversification is the holy grail of investments. And Ray Dalio is considered one of the most respected in the space. He really is OG. And he knows, and now it can be mathematically proven, that if you diversify your portfolio, you make more money in the long run, period. And so this is a typical portfolio of someone in the investment club. They got about 20% of their money in crypto, maybe about 15% in equities, 15% in cash, 20% in fixed income, and maybe 30% in real estate, their own home, maybe a vacation home, maybe an investment home. And so I think this is a really healthy portfolio and it's a really good mix. I would never tell anybody to put 80% of their money in crypto. I would never tell anybody to put 80% of their money in cash or 80% of their money in real estate. But a balanced portfolio is what we're looking for here. And in this case, why not put your real estate exposure into something with more upside than your family home or some rental down the street? If you're in London right now, I mean, good luck if that thing goes up a few percent a year. They just jacked up property taxes. They just jacked up stamp duty. I mean, that's probably going to lose you money over time. So why not have it in something that can get you tax-free 50 to 90%? For me, it's just a no-brainer. And it actually adds to your crypto portfolio. Folks, we think the greatest way to predict the future is just to go out there and create it. I can stay here in London and wallow in my misery with everybody here and talk about how everything's a mess and the taxes are high and the government's a mess. I don't even want to do that. I'm just going to go to Dubai and make our investors a boatload of money. That's all I'm going to do. And we don't have to engage in this. I remember Dan Pena once said that somebody asked him about the oil recession, and he said, we have chosen not to participate in the oil recession. And so I feel the same way. You know, I am not participating in the UK recession. You know, I'm going to just make our money elsewhere. And I don't apologize for that at all. I'm here for one reason, to make our members as much money as possible. That's my prime directive. It has been for the last 5 years. It will be for the next 5 years. And I really enjoy doing that. And that's what we're going to do. Folks, this is Ben Bandari. He is the top real estate broker in Dubai. He's been there 20 years. He's built an amazing business. He's also the star of $1 Million Listing UAE, which is one of these reality real estate programs that's all over the world. There's one in San Francisco. There's one in LA. There's one in New York. I interviewed a guy named Ryan Sirhan in 2020 when he was starring in that show, and I was in New York City. And I met him about 4 weeks ago, and he was like telling me everything that he's done there. He moved there from Toronto in 2002 and really built everything there. And now, of course, he's famous because they just launched season 2. And just as Dubai's record property boom takes center stage. And I sat down with Ben recently and I said, why Dubai, Ben? Like, why? And again, he's Canadian, so it's not like he's born there. So I think he's got a little more objectivity, you know, than a lot of other people would. And this is what Ben told me.
How did Dubai become one of the top 5 real estate markets in the world?
There's many factors. The safety and the security is next level. You won't find it anywhere in the world. The leadership had a vision to basically attract foreign investment, to bring basically expats here, and to basically expand the culture, the tourism, and the city itself. His Highness, he really is just created a marketing machine. and they've done a great job. I mean, I've seen it all right from the beginning, from 2002 up until today. You have to come here, you have to see it, you have to experience it to believe it.
And we're seeing a lot of billionaires and a lot of other high net worth people bring their families here, invest in properties.
There's really no comparison. You have 1,000 families moving to Dubai weekly. Everybody is looking to come here. Everyone's looking to move here because of tax reasons, because of safety, because of security, because they want to park their money somewhere safe as well. There's so many factors. I mean, the list goes on. We can just sit here till tomorrow morning. Everyone moves to Dubai. The money pours in because of the safety, because of the security, because of the stability.
I keep hearing safety, security, stability, right? Right. These are the things people crave. We don't have safety here in the UK. We really don't have stability because they're all constantly jacking with the tax rates, and we don't know what the government that's come in next. And so, you know, it's something where you can really see there's an appeal for it. And Ben's a great ally for us to have. He is one of the most trusted guys in that space and also very famous. And so he's just going to be a great part of our journey. Takeaways are Dubai obviously has that safety and security. The leadership, right, from the royal family attracts the investments. These people have a 100-year plan. I've never seen anything like it. Never seen anything like it. You know, you think they dream big in Silicon Valley, man, they dream big in the UAE. Zero personal taxes. It's a playground for the wealthy. So how do we create outsized returns in real estate? Well, it's about deal flow, folks. And that's what it's about. It's about finding these specific deals that have these outsized returns that can get us 50 to 90%, which is, again, way, way above any type of market average. The S&P 500 will do 15.6% this year, 15.6. And we're talking 40, 50, 60%. That's a massive change on that. And the reason we get these deals is because I've been going there year in and year out and building up relationships with people all over that city and in all capacities. Members of government, huge crypto multi-deca billionaires, you know, all the big players there, the movers and the shakers, and that's going to get us access to all of these deals. Of course, when we do this, we have to invest with the best. And that's why we see these incredible opportunities. And this is a deal we're looking at right now that's got potentially even higher projected returns than the one I'm talking about. And yeah, we're just going to be knocking these deals off one by one. And then we'll talk about the case studies in about 12 or 14 months. Folks, this is our investor portal. So Margaret, I know you're already in on this. Jose just got an invite, but this is inside the portal. It's got each deal. You can click on the allocation. You can check the legal docs, and you can go ahead and really just invest directly there. And that's what you get access to when you join. Folks, the last part I want to talk about is the financial tools. We use SPVs. Now, if you're in the investment club, you're familiar with those, but you don't see them as much in real estate. And an SPV basically can hold the property itself in its standalone legal entity. So it doesn't belong to a corporation or a person. It's in the SPV, and you own a percentage of that SPV. So you directly own the asset. You also isolate all the risks from your personal wealth or personal liability. This is very important. It's a ring-fence structure, stronger legal protection, cleaner tax treatment, and of course, easier financing and partnerships. And that's how we do this. Super transparent, perfect for what we're doing. But of course, the last part is, you all know, there's only one way to do this. You got to pull the trigger. Otherwise, you're going to watch everybody do this, and you know, watch everybody get wealthy. So timing matters. I don't think we'll have that many years here where we can do this until everyone sees this as an asset class. But right now, very few people have heard of this, let alone get access to the deals. And so the SPVs, they can't expand once they're filled. There's no way to add a little bit of allocation. I can't get you 10,000 more, because what we invest is literally the price of the house and the refurbs. You can't spend any more money on anything else. Early investors get priority, deals close fast, and once they're gone, of course, they are gone. This is for serious investors, right, who want access, not theory. I'm not going to teach you about the theory of real estate. This is access to deals, and they're real assets. They're audited outcomes, transparency, and again, like real opportunities on the ground. I'm going to be visiting these sites on a regular basis and showing you what they look like, showing you the outcomes and the progress, and then helping them resale it as well with our social channels. So what we have inside the Dubai Luxury Property Circle, it's a private membership, pathway to premium opportunities, chance to build real wealth. And again, you can start with as little as $10,000 to get in. The best way to jump on this is to apply. It'll take you 30 seconds. Go to learnreal.tv/Dubai. I'll look at the application myself. I'm trying to think if I probably won't stop over Christmas, because I'm really excited about this. And so I'll see your application. And if you're a member of one of our major groups, it's a no-brainer. But if not, we'll go and research you and just see how long you've been with us and see what we can make of you. And if the vibe is there and the fit is there, then we'll bring you in, because this is the most powerful money making opportunity I've ever seen. Folks, I think that's it from there. I think you know how to apply, and just thanks for the time. Really appreciate it. I hope that answered some of the questions. If you have any more questions, you can DM Maria. It's maria@londonreal.tv, or just apply, and then we'll get back to you and we can answer some questions from there. But I just think this is a super cool opportunity, and hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. If you have any questions, DM me. And if not, just want to say, like, happy holidays to all of you. Just want to thank Trevor and Camille, and actually just everybody here for just coming in. Petia, of course, and all of our OGs here. And also just thank all the graduates of the DA. You made it through before the year is over. Look, 2026, it could be the greatest year. I don't know what your politics are. I'm personally a big Trump fan, but I think everything he's put in place in the last 12 months is going to bear fruit next year. I really do. The big, beautiful bill tax cuts are going to finally come into play. $20 trillion of investments. You got rates being cut. You got Clarity Act happening. You got peace being made everywhere. Man, I just think this, you could see equity markets up another 20-25%. You could crypto really break out. So I'm super bullish, which is why I want real assets. I want crypto. I want real estate. And we're going to be involved in all of it. So whatever your flavor is, we're here for you. And like I said, I'm just on a mission. I want to make everybody filthy rich. It's a twisted goal of mine, but that's just what I'm here for. So that's it, folks. Wishing you the best of holidays. We'll be back here, not next Thursday, but it'll be I think it'll be like the first or second Monday in January, the one after New Year's. So we'll see everybody then. Until then, make sure you guys have a safe, wonderful holiday. Love you guys. All right.